We know it as America's pastime, but do you realize the game was created to pass through time? The founders of white America were Freemasons, so it makes perfect sense that baseball was sculpted in the inspiration of what Masonry is supposed to be about: ascension to the 33rd degree, which is Enlightenment. This documentary will be going down the rabbit hole of what makes the game of baseball ritualistic in every sense of the word.
That's impossible. This guy.
Look at the guy left. He goes, you know what? If these clowns are going to keep doing that, I'm out of here. Yeah, you're right. It's like they're filming a movie, right? And they just keep throwing that same scene out there. We're going to get it right eventually.
A theatrical showcase of the progression through challenge, enlightenment, then ascension out of the matrix. How the elements of the game mirror astrology, cosmology, geomancy, and of course, geometry. A mathematical play casting out the most secret knowledge in the world. Baseball is the occult manifested in the mainstream society in plain sight. But with our eyes to see, it's time to absorb some of its meaning. But first, let us gain understanding of the sport via a Freemason himself, explaining the roots of the game and how it has seeped into society.
When somebody is running the square of a baseball field, who can tell me how far they're running?
360 degrees.
Feet. 360 feet, 90 foot from base to base. Okay, what does that translate to in yards? 120 yards. Okay, so when somebody is running the square of a baseball field, they're running the length of a football field plus both end zones. That's a fact. Nobody's ever really equated the square to the distance of what it really is. You understand? So that's a great feat to be able to run a whole field at one time.
Baseball is more of a ritual than it is a sport. Players standing on geometric shapes and running in geometric patterns. The philosopher Morris Raphael Cohen described baseball as a national religion. Almost all ancient civilizations has had some sort of ritualistic sporting event that mixed athletic prowess and religious beliefs. Playing ball engaged one in the maintenance of the cosmic order of the universe and the ritual regeneration of life. It was a game of chance, skill, and trickery reflecting life. The team effort engaged individuals in shared behavior and culture, introducing, reinforcing, and reinventing the game of life and people's place in the cosmic order. Americans are no different than the Mayans, the Greeks, the Romans, and almost all other civilizations. The Freemasons dominate in the darkness in America, and they are immensely inspired by ancient cultures like the Egyptians, Babylonians, and the Phoenicians. They study their rituals, their mythology, and their knowledge of mathematics, geometry, and astrology, so it's very plausible that the Freemasons created the game of baseball, which celebrates the sacred symbols and secret knowledge of the past.
Baseball has a ritual all of its own. The preparation before a game, the taping of the wrists, the pine tar being applied to the bat, the warm-up exercises, the mental preparation necessary before taking the field so that a player may be prepared both mentally and physically for the great undertaking he is about to put his body and mind through, of being ready to perform in an instant's notice. The camaraderie and good fellowship in the dugout, the ebbs and flows of the game. The game to be played in its proper manner requires the possession of muscular strength, great agility, quickness of eye, readiness of hand, and many faculties of mind and body that mark the man of nerve. The countless intricacies of the game make it so enjoyable, but hard to perform. There are those who have countless esoteric and mythical theories about the game and Freemasonry. The internet is full of such conspiracy theorists. Are players standing on geometric shapes? Occult Kabbalistic rituals showing Freemasonic symbolism concerning both geometry and numerology, sacred numbers, is rampant on the internet. The game does have many inferences that can be drawn to Masonry. The field, from home plate to the left and right walls, form a compass. The entire outfield wall is the semicircle which this compass draws. Upside down, overlapping the compass, the three bases form the square. 3 strikes and 3 outs were assigned because 3 is a sacred number throughout history as well as in Freemasonry. 4 recalls the 4 directions common to so many sacred traditions as the square formed by the 4 bases as well as 4 balls for a walk. The 9 is represented as the multiple of the 3, represented by the 9 fielding positions. The bases, you have a guard at every door. And the 9 innings to the game. 81, the multiple of 9, is half of a season. Is this all coincidence, or is it part of a master plan? Well, I don't go into the occult of baseball.
Masonry is filled with symbolism and ritualism. Does baseball also have that?
Oh, absolutely. Without going too much into the Masonic symbolism here, for various reasons, I'll be a little bit vague on that side of things, and brothers can infer on their own what I mean from that. Yeah, so every baseball game starts with a ceremonial first pitch, and if you think when a meeting is about to come to order, there's one loud bang from a gavel to bring everyone to order. So I think that's an interesting little connection, but definitely not the strongest. If you look at the baseball diamond, the fact that a player will move from home to first to second to third and back to home, there's quite a lot of symbolism in that. The circumambulation of the diamond, moving from home where you are in a safe location, right? You can't get tagged out while you're at home. And then you move out to the bases where you're a bit more fragile. You can easily be tagged out if you step off base. But if you look at moving through the bases, it's moving through the 3 separate degrees of masonry. And then as you return back to home, or as you finish your, return your catechisms after the 3rd degree, right? You should have that rough ashlar turn into a smooth one. So kind of that completion of coming back to an original state. So you'll notice quite regularly in many jurisdictions you have the black and white checked floor. And that's a quite common pattern that's mowed into fields. Even here at Doubleday Field, every once in a while, you'll see the crisscross dark and light shade pattern on the outfield grass.
The checkerboard is referred to as the path of life or game of life, and those who play upon it are pawns in the game. It means the duality of life, usually represented by black and white squares, yin and yang, but in the case of baseball, by contrasting squares from colors of green. This duality shown in squares represents the physical duality of life. It might also have meaning where the ball lands or is intercepted on the field as to which square it comes upon, a darker green or lighter, but that is speculation. Babe represents one pillar of baseball, while Jackie Robinson represents the other. Branch Rickey, the Major League executive that helped Jackie Robinson break the color barrier, was also a Freemason.
Brother Branch Rickey, from 1913 to 1955, 42 years in the game.
The Freemasons didn't create the game just to run around in funny-looking pants. They created the game to symbolically show you the ritual of conquering your challenge and succeeding in life. Baseball is a game of reaching enlightenment. But to reach enlightenment, you have to understand how the board game called life works. As spectators, our attention is turned upon the pitcher playing the part of the evil demiurge. The challenge. The field itself is the earth, by which the batter must navigate without obstruction in order to obtain illumination. When he steps to home plate, it is his moment to defeat the dust he is shackled to and to shine like the stars in the firmament above. The 4 bases represent the 4 elements. Home base is most obviously earth, first base being water, second base being air, with third base often referred to as the hot corner, signifying fire. Naturally, the pitcher's mound makes up the 5th element, that is spirit.